And welcome back. It's time to kick off Season 2 of the GTO Touring Series. The Gran Turismo Online League is back, and it's time for 125 laps to be settled here on the high-banked oval of Northern Isles Speedway, the Hudson Memorial 125. It is time, and I'm here with your Season 1 Touring Series champion, Rashad Metz. Rashad Metz, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty great, man. I can't wait to watch this race.
And the stands are packed for this one. This is going to be an exciting event. The shortest track on our circuits and one of the highest banked other than Blue Moon Bay Speedway. So this is definitely going to be a fast-paced race. It's going to be decided. It's the longest race in terms of laps. It's still going to take around 30 minutes to complete. But it's going to be a fun one. We're going to see a lot of bump and banging. What you think, Rashad?
I think his drivers are going to be aggressive. I think his drivers are going to push each other to the limit because there's not a lot of room on this racetrack. It may be 4 lanes, but once it comes to getting down into these corners side by side, that 4 lanes turns into 1 or 2.
And how do you think that these drivers are going to handle this new season and new schedule change? How do you think they're going to race tonight?
I think these drivers are going to try to start off the year with some good points. I think all these drivers right now are going to try to check each other out, basically try to size each other up to see whose cars have pace where, and trying to basically see who they need to compete with going into the rest of the season.
And this is surely last year. I know we saw Donnie Wu mostly dominated this race, and so do you think it's going to be dominated by mostly one person again this year, or do you think we're going to see some different players, or racing be a little different?
Well, I don't think it will be this year because we've had a package change this season with how the cars race. So I feel like the field is going to be a lot tighter together, and I think they're going to be racing a lot harder. Kind of more of like a Blue Moon style feel for this race, but on a lot smaller basis of track. So I really think these drivers are going to take a lot of skill because every small inch, it really matters on this track. Well, it comes into arcing in the corners or getting out of the corners. All of it matters because it's not that much space between you and the driver next to you.
Alrighty, you ready to get down to the Metz painting grid walk? You ready?
I'm ready.
Alrighty, you care to start us off here?
Starting off on the pole position by 0.02 of a second over Rashad Metz's Donnie Wu out here sporting a new car, number 55 Mitsubishi. He's out here trying out a new vehicle. I think this is what he's going to rock with this season. And hopefully he's going to try to dominate this race like he did last season and see what kind of pace he's going to have today.
And rolling off second place is the Season 1 Touring Series Championship. Rashad Metz is looking to start off his second season with a bang here tonight as he's going for back-to-back championships. He hasn't won the Hudson Memorial 125 before, which is one of the longest races, an oval race. He is a very well-rounded oval racer, over road courses and ovals, so look for him to be running up front tonight, and he's going to be going for the win.
Rolling off next, we have Miles Johnson in the '06 Mustang. He's one of he's one of our oval guys on the circuit, the best oval guy we have in our Gran Turismo Touring Series. So whenever we're on an oval, you can always expect him to be in the front or somewhere near the front. It was not the qualifying effort that he wanted today. He's typically really strong, but it was some small mistakes that he made under qualifying. But I can bet that this Mustang will be up front at some point in time this race.
And he is the former track champion here. He did win 5 races in a 10-race season. Rashad Metz also won 5 races in that season. Was dominated by both of those drivers, so definitely look for them two to be very strong at this track. And rolling off P4, we have Javen Tucker in the number 99 car. Javen Tucker won in the weekly series last night, so he's looking to sweep this weekend, but he's in a new car this season, number 99 cars, in a Porsche. So he's hoping that he's going to have a fast car today and hopefully keep that 99 up front.
Rolling off next, we have Trevor Levine in the 95 car. He's actually driving a nice RCF, I'm pretty sure. Lexus. I'm trying out a new car this season. Think this car has a better balance to him than the Jaguar has. He wants to go and try to not really one of our oval ringers, but he is pretty good all around on tracks, mainly road courses, but he's going to try to take his road course experience and see how it can help him on these ovals today.
And rolling off And the final grid spot is the number 89 car of Michael Shoemaker. Michael Shoemaker ran a part-time season last. We saw him in a couple road courses and here and there, and we did see him in the final race, but he didn't really do too much. He hasn't even captured his first top 5 of the season, but he's looking to change all that tonight. As we saw in our pre-race show, which is posted on our YouTube channel, we saw he had a lot of confidence coming in this race. He's been doing a lot of pre-race practice. He was fast during practice, but he is hoping to get that Dodge Viper up toward the front toward the end of this race and compete for a podium finish. And that is it for your Mets paint and grid walk. Let's waste no time. We get down to this. It's sure to be an exciting race here tonight. And I'm sure, Rashad, that you're excited to watch this one as well.
I am. I must say, those cars look damn good side by side on that grid, especially under the lights today.
And this is our only night race during the season, so this is going to be fun. Other than the All-Star race, the All-Star race might be held on Rice or at night, but also before we start this race, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel for pre-race shows on our YouTube channels and race replays, power rankings, and more on there. We got point standings and schedule changes, all the things you need to know on our Instagram, so make sure to check us out. Also, if you want to join this league, feel free to notify us on PlayStation. We will add you to the party. We will welcome you with open arms. But let's get down to the Hudson Memorial 125 laps to settle the season opener. And they are off. The Hudson Memorial 125 is underway. They dive into turn 1.
Side by side, Donnie Wu and Rashad Metz. Donnie Wu edges out Rashad Metz on the outside. Miles Johnson trying to work that inside lane. So, Miles, what do you think these drivers are going to try to run their cars at? Do you think there's going to be a specific line these drivers want to run throughout this race?
I think you're going to see a lot of people rim-rodding this track. You can carry a lot of momentum up around the top lane, but there is a couple cars like the Mustang of Miles Johnson that can do really well on the bottom. As you see, Donnie Wu dives down the bottom, which you can carry a lot of momentum into the corners on the top lane, and if you dive down to the bottom for that corner exit, you can get a good passing opportunity.
I think these guys are going to be pretty aggressive this race, especially Donnie Wu. I think he's going to try to get out to a lead early and try to stay out front. As you see, Nito trying to make a run for second place and maybe for the lead right now as he goes to the inside. But the top lane is really working with Rashad, and he gets around him.
Here's Miles Johnson to the inside of Tucker. See a lot of shuffling in position here. To see that momentum being carried by Rashad Metz on the top lane is not going to work out that time. Which, if you get enough drivers lined up on the bottom lane, you very well can run that bottom lane. You see Miles Johnson left hang out to dry. See, with this package that we're running here, it creates pack racing almost like Blue Moon, but on a smaller scale. So you're going to see a lot of drivers tandeming with each other, even at a short track like this.
But the thing about this track, Miles, is that in turns 3 and 4, it's it's tighter than in 1 and 2, so you can't keep it flat out like you usually can in turn 1 and 2, or just lift off the throttle. You kind of have to coast through it, especially with the dirty air that's created with these cars in this new package. You have to be a lot smarter on the throttle. You have to be a lot smarter when making your moves.
Ooh, 3 wide!
Action there.
Little contact with the wall. Johnson tried to take it 3 wide. Didn't work out too well.
As you see, it looks like we're missing a driver out of the pack. I think Michael Shoemaker is backed out of the pack. What do you think he's trying to do here? Is that his strategy, trying to run in the back, trying to get out of harm's way?
He had a lot of confidence going to tonight's race, but he seemed like he was going to hang out in the back of the pack and just wait for the moment to pound. I mean, there really is no moment running in the front of the pack as of right now. As you see, they're bumping and banging off each other. You can risk damaging your car and, end up getting caught up in a wreck. So he's doing a very smart strategy right now, hanging out in the back, going for a good finish at the end. Javen Tucker took it all the way to the bottom to try to make a pass.
3 wide, going into 3 and 4. This is how this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to work, Miles.
Ooh, they keep it going, though.
Keep it.
You think these drivers going to settle down any time here for the middle part of the race, or?
I have no idea, Miles. With these new cars, this new setup, and this new package, the way these cars are driving, I don't know if these guys want to be patient or if they want to just try to go balls to the wall the whole time and lead some laps. But right now, it just seems like these guys want all the track position they can. 3 wide for the lead, diving into 3 and 4. They're trying to negotiate it. You know, trying to get a run. Javen Tucker's trying. Couldn't quite get there. Miles Johnson's still trying to make his way to the front. That battle for the lead is heating up between Rashad Metz, Javen Tucker, and Donnie Wu. Here comes Miles Johnson trying to have a say. Goes to the inside lane. Makes it 3 wide, going into 3 and 4. Can they hold it? That Mustang can hold it pretty good on the bottom lane, as you can see right now by Miles Johnson. A lot of people don't give the Mustang a fair shake, but it really can't hold the bottom lane.
Oh, Metz clears it for the lead, but the crossover move. Here goes Wu down to the bottom again.
Still side by side. Gets clear. The high lane offers a pretty good run on a 3 and 4 because the bottom lane, it comes out a little narrow. You gotta have that perfect line.
Now, do you think that we're gonna see any big wrecks here tonight? You see that they're running in a pack for most of the race. Last year in the Hudson Memorial 125, they single filed out for a majority of the race. But see this, they're running side by side for the race so far, as they're almost in a line now. Do you think we're going to see a bunch of cautions or maybe some big wrecks?
I don't know. After our race at the weekly series this week at Blue Moon, and there wasn't really that much drama in that race. But as you see now, these guys are so close, and it shows that our drivers are very skilled. But I really might think there might be some conflict this race. It might be some bumping and banging, and maybe it gets a little too far, and some of these guys push their luck a little too much and spin out.
Javen Tucker just seems like he's having some steering issues there. I wonder what's up with that. We're going to see how that affects his race. You can really hear it in the tires as he goes into the corner. Them tires are squealing.
You can really see him. He's trying to work the bottom lane, but his car does not look like it wants to drive off the corner or grip. You see him slide up a groove and half a groove. On
Look
the
at his
inside
steering
lane,
input.
He's go for the lead.
He steered all the way throughout the entire turn, even on some of the straightaway to try to get that thing turned. You see his steering input down at the bottom of the screen. Oh, it's a good-sized pack forming up here at the middle or the front.
And you see these drivers not using that much throttle, like through the corners. They're lifting off slightly, and then they're back on the gas. It's all about those minute throttle inputs. As you see, he's burping the throttle through the corners, trying to stay in his line and trying to get as much of a run on the corners as he possibly can. But you see with Javen Tucker, he's really not handling the way he wants to, so it's a lot more off throttle time than a lot of these other guys are having.
3 wide here for second. I'm going to sort it out.
You see Donnie Wu drive the outside lane, just burping a little bit, but he's giving a lot more throttle than Javen Tucker can.
Just to show you the off-throttle time on this, let's go on the in-car camera with the former champion, Rashad Metz. You can hear him take off the throttle.
He's really trying to work in that bottom groove is what it seems to be. See if he can run down there when it comes to late in the race. I think he's trying to prepare.
Oh, we got cars down the bottom of the track. We got a car spinning. It's Miles Johnson. Oh,
let's see what happens.
See what happened here. Go back.
Some bumping and banging so far with Shoemaker.
Looks like Shoemaker slid up into him, made some contact, bounced off again, hit the wall. Just might have had some steering trouble there. Almost like got disconnected for a quick second.
See, he's struggling to
try to get that. It was
again.
Stuck in reverse, I believe. There, you see the back tire spinning again.
Let's see. So he got loose after the wall contact and spun out.
That is going to bring out your first caution of the night. Let's look back from Donnie Wu's point of view. Looking back at the two racing hard behind him.
I told you, Miles, these drivers are going to be real aggressive coming out of the gate here. I feel like all these drivers have something to prove, basically trying to flex at the beginning of the season, trying to intimidate all the drivers around them, showing them they mean business this season.
And that's going to bring out the first caution of the night so far here in the Hudson Memorial 125. And as always, this race replay will be posted on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. And Rashad Metz, that Metz paint number 24, is in the lead as of right now. Looks like he's going to take the bottom lane for the restart.
As they're grouping up, see these drivers going to restart at the yellow line before the start-finish line. It's the restart line. The leader gets to determine when they go.
I believe we're going to go back green flag race in this lap.
Nice clean restart. Donnie Wu giving a huge push. Trevor Levine going to the outside, trying to go to the outside lane. 3 wide.
Miles Johnson all the way back into the top 5 after that wreck.
Miles Johnson's not slashing.
Almost a big wreck. Let's watch that again.
By Donnie Wu, back end all the way out.
See him on the inside of Metz here. Dives in the turn 4, makes some contact. I believe he got a car to his inside. He made contact. Look at that.
Huge slide as he goes across the front end. Trevor Levine almost spins as he hits the apron in 1 and 2.
Let's watch the in-car camera here on Donnie Wu. See some contact with Metz.
Really burning the throttle, got tight on exit.
Get that thing back up onto the track. That's going to allow Javen Tucker to... Oh, he makes some contact with the wall. Ooh, a lot of bumping and bang between those 3 right there.
This battle for the lead is really intense. These drivers all want to win this race, but it's only lap 35 out of 125. I don't know why these drivers are being so aggressive, but they are really going for it so early on. As Miles Johnson tries to work over you don't need it, but Trevor Levine gets to the inside of them.
Donnie Wu and Rashad Metz battling it out for the lead here. We got some 3 wide action going here for second. Ooh, a little loose there by Trevor Levine.
Rashad Metz still out in front, leading this race right now. Actually pulled a little bit of space between the drivers.
We got about 3 or 4 car lengths between the second place. That area where we just saw that wreck a couple laps ago off of turn 4, that is a big trouble spot for these drivers, and I bet you we'll probably see another caution there by the end of this race if the drivers keep racing like they're racing right now.
I can see that, because when these drivers come out of turn 4, it gets real tight really fast.
That's 3 wide for the lead.
From inside of the car, a lot of contact.
Contact. Or wreck.
See, when you're inside the car, it's very hard to tell when the track tightens up. You really have to pay attention to how the car feels, mainly because what you see isn't exactly accurate, because it looks exactly the same size as the other corner if you just look at the racetrack, and not when you feel it when you're driving the car.
Which, I mean, if you look at the top right and the track map and the top map of top right of your screen, the track almost looks identical on both ends, but it just narrows up almost, and it seems like the banking almost ends earlier off the exit of turn 4, which you have to like lift and almost get that you got to get that corner exit perfect to get it onto the front straightaway.
I completely agree with you. As a 3 wide right now for the lead. Squeezing each other into the wall, Miles Johnson still trying to work that inside groove as he's out front right now. I told you that Mustang and Miles Johnson was going to find his way to the front. 3 wide for second place, almost 4 wide. Miles Johnson still trying to work in that bottom groove, working those lower lanes, trying to pander to what his strengths are right now. As Donnie Wu is trying to work him on the inside, a little bit of contact. We got
a spin. It's Michael Shoemaker in that number 89 car. That's going to bring out our second caution. Ooh, he spins again, trying to get it back going. Let's see what happened here. I think
got tight on exit.
He got tight on exit, just slid.
No space.
Yeah, ran out of space there on. I think after Miles Johnson got in the wall a little bit, you see there off the turner, kind of caused everyone to check up a little bit. But I think
Michael Shoemaker was trying to chill out in the back of the field, but it seemed like to try to avoid said drama and conflict, and he was one of the lead proponents of this one and the last one as well.
You see looking back from Rashad Metz's car.
Big contact, gets tight on exit. That is a very tricky corner turn for. You know, Michael Shoemaker, he's not very experienced on the oval, still trying to get a handle on how they race. I feel like he's trying to sit in the back of the pack and learn how to drive this track, especially around these very experienced guys in the series. Because we have multiple time race winners in this race. YouTube Donnie caught a win last season. Rashad
Donnie Wu won three wins last season as well. Did Trevor Levine caught 3 wins? Rashad Metz
caught 2 wins last season. Miles Johnson was a track champion of this track with 5 wins. So his competition is very, very stiff. You caught a win at an oval last season as well in the touring series. So
there's a lot of underdogs.
Handful.
And back up through the gears we go. We're green flag racing again. 3 wide. See a lot of good winners in this league. We're almost tied throughout the entire leaderboard for all-times wins list. Miles Johnson and Rashad Metz are tied at the top with 7 wins apiece. Miles Johnson just picked up his 7th in the Christmas race a few weeks ago. Rashad Metz looking to edge him out of the top and pick up his 8th win here tonight. Donnie Wu and Trevor Levine are tied for 2nd at 2 apiece. And you got Javen Tucker, which has now jumped up into the 4th spot, I believe, with 2 wins now. And, almost some contact there. And of course, you got Jalen Connor on the final on the leaderboard with 1 win. So we might see a new winner here tonight.
Hopefully we do. It's always super exciting to see new winners at these racetracks, especially underdogs. As you see, Miles, people say it's usually a 1 to 2 groove racetrack. Northern Island is, even though it has the 4 lanes to race, but you're starting to see a lot of those drivers risking it all and going for a 3 wide moves. What do you think about that?
Honestly, I still think it's way too early in this race for these drivers to be making these sort of moves. I mean, we're just under, about 100 laps remaining.
3 wide the lead right now. Shot sits like a rock behind places, but Javen Tucker can try to dive in on the bottom lane, but he just can't stick it. His car is just not handling the way he wants to. It's pretty tight, as you can see by his throttle control.
In this race, we have seen a bunch of comers and goers, so to speak. We've seen that 06 car Johnson come back and forth through the field a lot of times. Trevor Levine come to the front and drop back to the back. You've seen a lot of people come and go, which is making for some great racing here.
Even with this new package and new settings that we're driving this season, one thing is still certain is that top lane is still one of the fastest ways to get around this racetrack. And what I've been seeing, what I've been noticing is that now if you get 1 or 2 cars on that bottom lane, you might be able to make a move on the bottom, but you got to have the handling. If you don't have the handling, you can't really get it done. A lot of drivers are diving down there trying to get some clean air because they don't like driving in the dirty areas. These guys are nose to tail on the top side. 3 wide. 4 wide almost going into turn 3 and 4.
Which is it's kind of a strange feat because in the early days of this league, in the first season of the weekly series, in those early couple races, everyone was, whoa, Javen Tucker goes around. The caution's going to come back out for the 3rd time tonight. What happened here? See, it's on the inside there. He just
made contact.
Looks like he just came up into Miles. I wonder if he just didn't know Miles Johnson was there.
I think this might be back referencing his handling problems. I think he got in some of that dirty air, picked up a lot of speed, and slipping, trying to come back up.
I don't think that car turned into the corner like he thought it was going to. I think with that steering issue, kind of aided in that. Let's go take a look at the in-car camera for him. Yeah, you can obviously see that he had it turned to the left there. That car just did not settle in the corner like he was hoping there. He is able to continue on, though, which is good for us.
Was this the third caution of the race so far?
Third caution of the race so far. So one to watch is definitely Michael Shoemaker in that red Viper. He's hanging out in the back, but he can surely make a charge whenever he wants to. That's going to lean us back to green again.
You see Miles Johnson trying to work with Johnny Wu. Tries to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He don't need to back on the aggressor, being the aggressor, trying to make moves again. You see there's been a lot of battling between Rashad Metz and Donnie Wu so far throughout this race. Those two drivers have seemed to be gravitating towards the higher lane of the racetrack. But as you see, Rashad is trying to shake him up by running lower grooves because a lot of these drivers can't hold him.
Ooh, almost at all. We got another spinner. We got Trevor Levine went around this time. Looks like 2 or 3 cars in the wall. Let's see what happened here.
Huge move by Michael Shoemaker.
He slid up into Javen Tucker off the corner, bounced back into the pack. He collected about 3 or 4 cars in that wreck almost. So he goes in the corner, slides up.
Slides, doesn't have the grip, trying to get off.
Yeah, just bounces in there.
As he can.
I believe Miles Johnson was right in the middle of that. Here's from the front bumper of Johnson's car. Narrowly made it through.
Brutal spin by Trevor Levine. Hopefully he can get that car back going so we can get back into the fray.
Rashad Metz is still your leader. We're under the... I believe this is the 4th caution now.
Miles, I think you were right. This is really early for these drivers to be making moves like this. And as you see, ever since they're starting to get a little more wild when they're trying to resort to those 2 and 3 wide situations, they're starting to get really conflicted. A lot of stack ups happening, and these drivers are starting to make mistakes. And as you see, they're paying the price for it.
Which there is, you hear it a lot in a lot of other motorsport disciplines. Cautions bring cautions. And it's surely proven itself here tonight. After we've seen our first cautions, we've seen 3 more in the span of 20 laps. So that first caution definitely started a chain of cautions here. Hopefully this one will be the last.
To go for a green restart here. Nose to tail again, and you're starting to see a lot of that tandeming. And you see these drivers are starting to try to push each other around the racetrack, trying to gain as much position as they can. Ooh, huge contact, 3 wide.
Metz is going to go back to the back. You got to have all that contact. He actually keeps it going quite well. All these drivers scrambling for positions off of these restarts.
Lap 68 out of 125 is still pretty early. This is one of the longest races, lap-wise, of the season. These races, especially this track, a lot of left turning, wearing out the arms of these drivers with these wheels that they're using.
Which, this race, it does add up to, it takes about 30 minutes, which all of our road course races in the same season. Almost another big wreck. But all our road course races this season are 30 minutes as well. But to see the difference is a road course, you have a bunch of different turns to navigate, so you only run about 10 to 15 laps depending on the road course. Here, it's just 125 laps of the same thing over and over again. You got to learn that consistency on the track and learn how to drive around all this pack with the dirty air.
3 wide right now in turn 3 and 4. They navigate it. Still 3 wide going into 1 and 2. Trevor Levine still trying to work his way to the front of the field. Hadn't really been up there very much recently, but he's trying to work in that inside lane with Miles Johnson. Miles Johnson, I think, let him through just now. Said he could fight another day, but as you see, these drivers are tandeming. around the top lane, Donnie Wu and Rashad Metz are trying to stay nose to tail and trying to gain a little bit of time on the pack here. As you see, they're separating, a little bit of separation as Nito tries to follow.
Sure, there's an interesting race and how almost the pack racing of Blue Moon carries over to this race with the helping each other out.
Javen Tucker, even though he has a poor handling car, he managed to drive that Porsche into second position right now, trying to work with Donnie Wu. They have a little bit of time on the field for the rest of the pack. Ooh, into the wall goes Rashad as Trevor Levine slides up the track and then takes his position.
He's giving the bumper a little bit there in the corner, doesn't really gain too much.
Trevor Levine trying to work on Nito.
We've seen majority, the three main drivers have mostly stayed up front. You know, Donnie Wu's been staying up front most of the night. Rashad Metz has definitely been in the front pack most of the night.
Wide again. They're going to be able to navigate it again. They sort it out. These drivers are racing exceptionally hard tonight. I have not seen racing this hard, especially at a track this small where every movement needs to be done with purpose. Contact in the wall. You don't need us on the apron.
4 wide.
4 wide.
Johnson trying to make it work by himself on the bottom for the lead.
Trying to work over Rashad Metz on the bottom lane as they're side by side on the exit of the corner. But Donnie Wu is trying to follow Rashad. Rashad trying to pitch Miles Johnson down there.
Still side by side. He's hanging in there by himself, but it looks like he's going to get some help from Donnie Wu pushing him back out front.
Donnie Wu wants the lead. He's coming for it right now. Trying to work that bottom lane. Here comes Miles Johnson, 3 wide.
Ooh, dove it in there.
Takes the lead. That Mustang is out front now again this race. Miles Johnson is always somebody on these ovals you have to keep your eye on. No matter if he's in the back of the pack, middle of the pack, he will find his way to the front and he will always be a threat.
The last time you saw a Brown Motorworks number 06 car here, it was winning the championship as a Corvette, winning 5 races in a season. So it's fun to watch Rashad Metz and Miles Johnson duke it out since they were competing so hard for that championship title and the track championship here, winning 5 races apiece.
Indeed it is. It's always a joy, it's always a luxury to be able to see these guys in action each and every week.
And it was a long off season, even though it was a couple weeks, but we're so glad to have all of you back. And if you're watching on our YouTube channel, thank you a lot for watching. We're trying to grow our fan base here. We have a lot of road course races coming up for you soon. We're going to have a dirt race coming up soon, an all-star race, a kart race. Have a lot of fun stuff coming for all of our fans out there. Just thank you for all the support, and we hope to keep growing in the upcoming seasons.
But let's talk about this dirt race, Miles. We've been hearing about the dirt race, that we're going to use these same cars, but we're going to take the spoilers and some of the downforce off of the cars. So we still have, what are we looking at right here with these next cars? What do you call them?
So we basically call it a next gen car, since it's very close almost and relative. It looks a lot like the NASCAR Cup Series next gen car. It's basically the same as a Group 3 car. It's a Group 3 road car, so to speak. It's the same as these cars you're seeing on track right now, but doesn't have the rear wing, and it's a little bit higher off the ground, and that allows us to take them off-roading. So we're going to do a little dirt tracking with them at the Sardegna Rallycross course, and it's going to be fun to watch. It will not be a points race, though, but it's going to be fun to watch all of our normal league drivers battle it out on a dirt track.
I think it's going to be pretty interesting, because what I've been hearing is that those cars are going to have smaller spoilers and 800 horsepower. Usually we're running between 500 horsepower with these cars, but 800 horsepower is going to be exceptionally difficult for these drivers to drive, especially on a dirt track where the grip is very minimal, but the brakes are very good, especially with these cars. So
which we did see Rashad Metz and Miles Johnson did some preseason testing, and both of the drivers love it and had a lot of fun racing those cars against each other. So we'll have to see how that one goes when we get all of our lead drivers out there.
See, it's a big shakeup in the lead right now. As you see, Nito is trying to make his way to the front once again. Everybody's trying to work different lanes, 3 wide at the moment. Miles Johnson still trying to make his way to the front, trying to work the inside lane by himself. And it's managing to work. I think that clean air is really
way onto
big,
the bottom.
Big moment for Nito in that Porsche. But I think Miles Johnson and that Mustang really thrive with that clean air, because they get to that bottom lane with that clean air and he can drive right off the corner. Look how fast these cars get back on the gas. The good handling ones, just a little bit of throttle burping to stay on the top lane, and then power down these straightaways. We want to call them straightaways, but we can call them shoots because they're so short.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch these drivers battle it out next week on Laguna Seca, which is one of Rashad Metz's favorite track. He wins at that track all the time when he races online, so look for him to be a threat. Also look at Trevor Levine. Trevor Levine won his first career race there last season, but that was definitely going to be a fun one.
That's all Trevor Levine been able to talk about. He's been aching for these road course races, so you know he can make it happen in those races. Every road course, you can know Trevor Levine will always be a threat. He will always be in contention for the win. He's one of those fast, really, really fast drivers.
Ooh,
Big moment, he was slide!
What a save by Rashad Metz! Let's go back and watch this one again.
Gosh. 3 and 4 wide. Go to the corner, and Trevor Levine goes to the inside.
Look at it sideways. Let's look at this again. I'm going to slow it down a little bit there for you. As you see, what is it? He's going into the corner. He's got Javen Tucker just down to his inside.
Trevor Levine
and it looks like Trevor Levine, I think he got a little loose almost by himself. And then here comes Trevor Levine right up into that quarter panel. And
you're 3 wide.
Look at him
Miles Johnson on the inside.
turning that car almost all the way sideways. He keeps it out of the wall. Barely off the wall.
Look how close he is to the wall. And he gets into the wall right there.
What a save by Rashad Metz. That could have been a massive caution right there.
But after we passed the 100 mark threshold, it is now 23 laps to go. How do you think these drivers are feeling coming down to the wire?
It's go time for these drivers. We see Michael Shoemaker's making a run from the back. He's already up to 5th place. I think it's go time for a lot of these drivers start making it to the front. You see Miles Johnson trying real hard to get back up to the front. Donnie Woo's trying real hard to defend. So everything we've seen in the first half of this race is ramped up for these final 20 laps.
I've been hearing that from the stewards, the GTO stewards, that there will be no cautions after the lap of 120. So how do you think that's going to change how these drivers are going to drive in those last 5 laps of the race?
Of course, you want to hang out hang it all out on the line, and you want to go for this win. But at the end of the day, you got to think, would I rather put? Oh, we got a car spinning, and then who goes around? Just try to get
Javen Tucker. Again. 3 wide.
Make contact.
Once again, that's the 3rd incident where Chewbacca has rode up the track and caused some contact and caused a spin.
Well, that's certainly going to change a lot of things as we reshuffle the field and pack everyone back up with the 20 laps to remain here.
I'm pretty sure the stewards have just warned Michael Shoemaker. I'm hearing word that it has warned Michael Shoemaker about his driving. He's been sliding up the track in that corner multiple times now, and he's not really giving the drivers room and causing incidents, so they just warned him. And as of right now, no penalties have been dished out, so hopefully we can keep it that way for the rest of the race.
Which you have seen a lot of drivers start to drive a little bit more cautiously due to that penalty system we have this season. So we're going to see how that affects the racing. Back up through the gears we go. 20 laps, under 20 laps remaining here. Metz is still your leader.
Miles Johnson trying to work that inside line. Rashad has no help on the outside.
Oh, now he's got help now.
Miles Johnson still trying to work on the inside, finding himself with that clean air. It really makes the difference how he can hold him off, but Donnie Wu is trying to push him 3 wide right now for the lead.
Now, of course, Johnson wants to get a lead off that restart, but it makes you wonder, ooh, he gets pushed up the track a little bit there by Tucker. But it makes you wonder if he's making his push a little bit too early.
15 laps to go. These drivers are laying it all out there now at this point. Trying to gain on the track position they can gain and trying to hold on to position and gain it at the same time. Just like Blue Moon, you can gain and lose position in a heartbeat. 4 wide! Coming out of turn 2! Still 3 wide!
This is crazy racing here for this win, the Hudson Memorial 125.
Still 3 wide as they dive in. Miles Johnson trying to gain that position. Rashad, because of the battling, has pulled a little bit of a gap on the field. I don't know what he's going to do. He's trying to run the bottom lane, trying to get some of that clean air and keep the drivers out of the slipstream. 3 wide with Miles Johnson.
Ooh, gets pushed up the track.
You see Michael Shoemaker still chilling out in 6th position. I don't know what he's trying to do, if he's planning a run for the front at coming down to the closing laps, or is he going to just try to learn from this race and then try to finish in the back just to get some points. And no way, if he comes back here next season, he has a way to win.
You gotta think here in the closing laps, do you want to push for that win so hard where you risk very heavily wrecking your car and finishing almost dead last, or would you rather settle for that 2nd place points finish, which could help you a lot in the championship standings?
You're bumping and banging for the lead right now.
Donnie Wu's on the inside.
3 wide for 2nd place, still bumping and banging, side by side, coming out of turn 4. Taking lap 117 out of 125. Trevor Levine's trying to make a run to the lead. Donnie Wu's working that top side with Rashad Metz. Miles Johnson trying to work that inside. Trevor Levine's trying to follow them on the outside as well.
Rashad Metz has a pretty good control of the field right now. You see him being very defensive on that top lane, getting a very nice run off. Ooh, he did get in the wall there. That allows Donnie Wu to take the lead. Here he comes back on the bottom, though.
They kind of separate a little bit, so the pushing isn't as helpful now because the drivers have backed off each other's bumpers, so it's a lot more side-by-side, give-or-take racing right now as Miles Johnson and Trevor Levine close up on the 2 leaders, trying to give him a push. Miles Johnson sends it on the inside, 3 wide on the exit of turn 4. 4 wide almost.
For the lead. 4
still
wide.
holding it. Javen Tucker trying to gain position.
Javen Tucker
still 3 wide for the lead.
4 wide in the middle of the pack.
No more cautions at this point in the race. Lap 122 of 125. 3 laps to go. What is going to happen? Miles Johnson.
That definitely hurt. The Series 6 car is running pretty good now. It seems like he's almost falling down the spots. Here comes Michael Shoemaker making a run for it.
3 wide for the lead right now.
Rashad Metz trying to clear him.
Tries to go to the inside lane.
We're coming up on 2 laps to go here at the line. Michael Shoemaker makes his way to
P3.
Looking for his first ever career podium and possibly a win.
Trying to work it hard. Rashad Metz gets out to a nice lead. Is anybody going to be able to catch him?
To the white flag. 1 more to go.
Nito follows in 2nd place. Rashad Metz in 1st. Chewbacca in P3. Can he hold on to the podium? Side by side, trying to make a huge run for 2nd place. Michael Shoemaker, side by side, coming over the corner. Nito gets 2nd place.
Rashad Metz wins the Hudson Memorial 125. The Touring Series champion wins the race. What an excellent race here tonight.
Starting the season off with a bang and a good points finish for Rashad Metz, but let's talk about that driver, Michael Shoemaker. He came into this race running in the back of the field, trying to learn almost, or trying to stay out of trouble learning as he's going through the race, and makes an excellent move with 3 laps to go and gets all the way to P3 to gain his first podium ever in the GTO
That was
Online
a very
Series.
excellent drive by Michael Shoemaker at the end. Those final 5 to 10 laps were almost perfect for him. So congratulations for him on that first ever podium, and congratulations to Rashad Metz on his first win in the Hudson Memorial 125. So he's looking to start off this season really good. let's see how he can do this season, going for back-to-back championships.
I'm very excited so far to see what this season is going to bring. These drivers are bringing new cars, new attitudes. As you saw in the pre-race, new cars, new attitudes, and these guys are going at it this season. The best of the best, head-to-head. Every weekend, Fridays and Saturdays, the best is going to win, and the best are going to prevail. And all right here on the Gran Turismo Online Series. Tune in each and every week to see who prevails and to see the huge shakeups each and every week and the great battles that the Gran Turismo Online Series brings.
Well, thank you for watching. Make sure to follow us on Instagram for your points update after this race and other races and other updates. Make sure to follow us on YouTube. Thank you to always Rashad for joining me in the booth tonight.
Of course.
And we look forward to see you next weekend. Y'all have an excellent evening and a great weekend.